I can see my notes through my glasses today. A lot of times, most of the time, I got to take them off. Where's the downbeat? You had downbeat with me? Remember having downbeat with me? Okay. I just have a. Who has the?
Ba-da-dee, bom, ba-da-dee, da. So that's easy
And
to
3, 4. Right. Good.
We might only have time for one black booker. We start downbeat set. Downbeat set, 11:50 for processional. So we always give a 2-minute break.
Raggy?
Raggy?
Setting it up.
Perfect.
Perfect. Almond twice. Banky. Then 2 airs.
Yeah. And call it whether we should go to the first or second one, Mark.
Yeah,
You should
I'll
be
look.
able to see it.
Sure.
And I will endeavor to get my fist up in a timely manner.
For the go sign from to the person to my right.
You gotta count, Nikki. This one's always the tricky one. Don't listen to anybody. Pay no attention to anybody else. So I'm gonna need about 5 seconds to deposit the meter.
Just too fast. Switch music. Clap your lips.
Did you see on TV Bill Murray singing "Take Me Out to the Ball"? Full Wrigley Field yesterday. Yeah, it's the first time they opened it up completely. And then at 7th inning stretch, Bill Murray sang "Take Me Out to the Ball." Led everybody to take me out.
I gotta look
It
that
was
up.
great.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, that was great. Well, I'll be glad in spring allergies. Pollen season's over.
Good. There we go.
Graduates, family, and friends, and honored guests, welcome to Thayer School of Engineering's 2021 Investiture. Extra reasons to clap today. Every Thayer Investiture is an occasion we're celebrating, but today is the 458th day, but who's counting, since Dartmouth announced a temporary transition to remote learning amid a rapidly growing pandemic. And so today feels particularly special. At Dartmouth's commencement tomorrow, Thayer will award 174 degrees, including 106 degrees in Bachelor of Engineering, including 33 A-B-B-E combined degrees, 46 degrees in Master of Engineering Management, 1 degree in Master of Engineering, 3 degrees in Master of Science, and 18 doctorates. In addition, Dartmouth will award 109 Bachelor of Arts degrees in Engineering Sciences. Class of 2021, you are part of a truly extraordinary group who rose up in the face of extraordinary challenges. So whether you are here at Memorial Field or joining us from home, I am deeply humbled and honored to celebrate this significant milestone with you today. At this time, I want to introduce our distinguished guests and the faculty and student marshals who led us onto the field. To my immediate left, Ernest Moniz, former U.S. Secretary of Energy under President Obama, who will deliver the keynote address. Joseph Helbley, Dartmouth Provost and Professor of Engineering. Ian Baker, Sherman Fairchild Professor of Engineering and Senior Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs. And to my right, Doug Van Sitters, Associate Professor of Engineering and Associate Dean for Undergraduate Education. Jeffrey Parker, Professor of Engineering and Director of the Master of Engineering Management Program. Laura Ray, Professor of Engineering and Senior Associate Dean for Faculty Development. And Petra Bonford-Taylor, Professor of Engineering and Associate Dean for Diversity and Inclusion. I also want to recognize today our faculty marshal, Lee Lind, the Paul E. and Joan H. Cano Distinguished Professor of Engineering. And our student marshals, Chidi Mofu, Thayer BE 2021, and Cole Andrus, Thayer MEM 2021. It is now my pleasure to introduce Provost Joseph Helbley. Provost Helbley is a familiar face to many of us here at Thayer after serving nearly 13 years as Thayer Dean before becoming Dartmouth's Provost in 2018. In 2014, he, along with 3 Thayer faculty, received the Bernard M. Gordon Prize, the highest honor from the National Academy of Engineering, for innovation in engineering technology education. Prior to his tenure as dean, he was the chair of the Chemical Engineering Department at the University of Connecticut. He also served as a Roger Revelle Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, during which he served as a science policy advisor in the US Senate on a broad range of issues, from mercury regulations to the implications of nanotechnology on the environment. As Dartmouth's provost, he oversees university-wide initiatives to advance our teaching and scholarship. In the past year, he served as a steady and compassionate leader who has helped guide our community safely through the COVID-19 pandemic, a period in which many things were never certain and certainly ever-changing. Please welcome Provost Helbley.
Thank you very much, Dean Abramson, for that kind introduction. And let me say, Thayer community, it is truly a pleasure for me to be back here with you today. As Dean Abramson said, in many ways, Thayer has been my home for 16 years at Dartmouth, 13 of which I had the privilege of serving as dean, and the past 3 as provost, but during which I have remained a professor of engineering, which has enabled me to continue as an engineering faculty advisor, including for some of you who are this year's graduates. And over these 16 years of being part of the Thayer community, I've learned that Thayer is many, many things. It's a person, of course, the founder of the oldest professional school of engineering in the United States, a physical place filled with classrooms, workshops, labs, and instrumentation that many of you in normal times would occupy late into the evenings, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. And it's a concept, a seamless marriage of the best of liberal arts and engineering education, and one that proudly places the human at the center. But for me, what at its core makes Thayer unique is the broad, diverse, supportive, and collaborative community that you all represent so well. You're students who shared an experience that crosses every imaginable boundary. You studied and researched and built together. You endured construction at your front door and the disruption of nothing less than a global pandemic together. In normal times, you foraged for food late at night or on a cold winter evening together. You have seen one another, your classmates, at their worst and at their best, and through this, you've seen that the advancement of knowledge does not have borders and develops best when developed together. At Dartmouth, you've been part of a global community. Thayer's students, you, this graduating group, hail from 22 different countries, from Ghana to Honduras to Vietnam to the United States. And you've collaborated in labs, on project teams, and in the classroom, completely indifferent to your background or origin. This will serve you extraordinarily well. This is how science advances. Let me give you some numbers to support my point. In the US, between 2006 and 2012, 1/3 of the venture capital-backed companies had at least one international founder. 55% of America's billion-dollar startups have a founder or co-founder who's an immigrant to this country. And 45% of the Fortune 500 companies were founded or co-founded by either first or second generation Americans. So if there's one lesson that I hope you'll take with you beyond engineering design, statistics, or analyzing data, it's to be part of a community, to share, and to collaborate. Let me end with a very brief personal example from this past year. As some of you know, and as Dean Abramson said, one of my primary responsibilities as provost these past 15 months has been helping to make COVID operational decisions for the campus. It's of course required a very large team, a COVID task force with many working groups, but it's also relied heavily on collaboration. Now, from time to time this past year and a half, I've heard some members of our community express a desire for Dartmouth to be a leader in COVID response, to be best in class. While there are many times that that's a sound strategy, I never believed that this past year and a half was one of them. For this period of time, nearly weekly, I've had Zoom meetings with provosts from Ivy and other peer universities, 2 different groups, nearly 20 provosts in total, openly sharing ideas and protocols and data. None of us looking to be first, all of us looking to advance a shared objective, safe operations and a return to normal. It's one of the most broadly collaborative experiences I have ever been part of. Even at this stage of my career, after many years as a working engineer, professor, and administrator, it was extraordinary. So let me end with simple words of advice. When someone asks you what an engineer does, many of us have heard the cliched phrase, engineers build bridges. The next time you hear that phrase, I hope you'll think about a deeper meaning. Engineers build bridges? Yes, absolutely we do. Across cultures, across countries, across race, gender, national origin, we build bridges to all communities. That collaboration, that community, is what I think of as the hallmark of a Dartmouth engineer, and that is what I hope you will truly carry with you as you leave the halls and walls of Thayer. Congratulations, Thayer graduates. It's been a privilege to get to know some of you, and I look forward to watching you and seeing what you can accomplish together and collaboratively in the years to come. Congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you, Provost Helbley. It is now my privilege to recognize members of our community for their academic achievements and distinguished service to our community. Students, when your name is called, please approach the platform using the ramp on either side of the stage. Remain to pause for a photo after receiving your award, and then exit using the center ramp. We will not be shaking hands today. So we will start with the George A. Colligan Memorial Prize, which is awarded to an undergraduate engineering sciences major for outstanding performance in material science. This year's award goes to Jason Liu. Jason is Dartmouth class of 2021 and Thayer BE 2021. In our increasingly energy-dependent world, safe, cost-effective, and high-performing batteries are critical to powering technology important for our livelihood. Under the guidance of engineering professor Fiona Lee, Jason is working to improve the fabrication of solid electrolytes for solid-state batteries and is currently pursuing his Master of Science in Engineering from Thayer. Congratulations, Jason. We are announcing the next two awards together because they recognize the same one outstanding student. The Richard W. Olmsted Prize goes to a Dartmouth senior for highest academic performance in the undergraduate engineering sciences major. The Thayer Faculty Award for Academic Excellence goes to the student with the highest academic performance, also in the Bachelor of Engineering program. This year, both awards go to Andrew Scow. Andrew is a Dartmouth 21 and Thayer BE 21 who earned a 4.0 GPA in both his major and in the 25 required courses for the Bachelor of Engineering. Congratulations, Andrew. The Dartmouth Society of Engineers Prize is awarded for outstanding performance in an engineering project by a Bachelor of Engineering student or student team. This year's prize goes to, and hold applause because I've got a team here, Meredith Anderson, Dartmouth 21 and Thayer BE 21, Miles Bach, Thayer BE 21, Kavi Krishnadaus, Dartmouth 19 and Thayer BE 21, James Monaco, Thayer BE 21, Shay Nelson, Dartmouth 21 and Thayer BE 21, and Michael Steele, Dartmouth 21 and Thayer BE 21. Can all of you who are here come to the stage? For their engineering capstone, the team partnered with a leading manufacturer to develop a specialized machine to precision cut ultra-soft microcatheter tubing. The team designed and implemented a custom solution that not only accounted for the needs of doctors and patients, but also the health and economic impact on factory employees who would use the new technology. Congratulations to the team. The Charles F. and Ruth D. Goodrich Prize is awarded to an engineering student in recognition of outstanding achievement with special emphasis on academic excellence. This year's prize goes to NSF graduate fellow and PhD student Nicholas Curtis. The prize is awarded for his scholarship in immunoengineering and immunotherapies. Nicholas already has multiple publications under his belt and was a key member of the team that won the Quinn Scholar Award this year from the Dartmouth Innovations Accelerator for Cancer to fund the development of new technology that enables faster, more accurate, high-throughput screening of new cancer drugs. Congratulations, Nicholas. The Thayer Corporate Collaboration Council Engineering Management Prize honors outstanding performance in the ENGG 390 internship and project by a Master of Engineering Management degree graduate. This year's prize goes to MEM graduating student Cole Andrus. As part of his internship at Whoosh Innovations, Cole contributed to the development of innovative technology to help fish populations move through aquatic systems to complete their natural life cycle and help sustain protected species. For his project, Cole created a manufacturable, shippable, and installable system to test whether Asian carp could ascend an Alaskan steppe-pass fishway. Congratulations, Cole. The Caroline Henderson Prize is awarded to the Master of Engineering Management degree graduate for highest academic achievement and outstanding service. This year's prize goes to Luke Metcalf. Luke earned an impressive 16 high passes, setting a record in the history of the MEM program. Congratulations, Luke. The John C. Woodhouse Engineering Design Prize is awarded for innovation and ingenuity in developing the most inexpensive but effective experimental research equipment. This year's prize goes to graduating PhD student Fung Vincent. Fung worked on the design and development of a small but powerful microscope that can image thick tissue specimens without the need to slice or stain the sample. Her microscope matches the performance of similar technology that costs tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars more and is changing how scientists look at bulk tissue and its structural matrices. Congratulations, Fung. The John C. Woodhouse Environmental Engineering Prize is awarded for the best work in the field of environmental study or research. This year's prize goes to a team, I'll read all their names, Max Lindemann, Dartmouth 21, Thayer BE 21, Ricardo Serrano-Smith, Ted Northup, and Luke Carey for their engineering capstone, Mesh Climate Sensor Network. The team remotely deployed an array of tree-mounted sensors to collect climate data in the canopy of rainforest environments. Combining mechanical design with electrical engineering and radio frequency transmission, the team designed and built fault-tolerant, robust sensors and field-tested in New Mexico and also here in Hanover. Max and Ricardo could not be here today, but please join me in congratulating the other students. Congratulations, Ted and Luke. The Brianna S. Weinstein Engineering Design Prize recognizes a student or student team for the design and development of a new technology or system that benefits people, particularly children or adolescents, with physical or developmental disabilities. The award goes to a team, Kent Campbell, Thayer BE 21, Shannon Kosman, Dartmouth 20, Thayer BE 21, Parveer Kaur, Thayer BE 21, Jacob Rozak, Dartmouth 21, Thayer BE 21, and Megan Clark, Thayer BE 21. Coming up. We are recognizing that team for their innovative solution to reduce fatal risks associated with insertion of nasogastric feeding tubes in neonatal infants. More than 90% of NICU newborns need feeding tubes for nourishment, and insertion of tubes requires extreme precision. But current methods to verify correct placement are prohibitive and costly. The team developed a simple solution using a fiber optic cable and human-safe near-infrared light inserted through the feeding tube prior to insertion that allows a visual confirmation from the light emitting through the infant's abdomen. Congratulations. The John W. Strobin, PhD Memorial Prize is awarded to a student in recognition of outstanding performance in engineering and medicine. This year's prize goes to PhD candidate Rachel Hakadorian. She is being recognized for her groundbreaking work to improve accuracy and precision during radiation therapy delivery through real-time monitoring of Cherenkov emissions emitted by patients during treatment. Her patented innovation has potential to reduce risk of unnecessary radiation, help guide doctors toward more precise treatment options, and improve quality of care for cancer patients. Rachel will continue her work at Harvard Medical School through their medical physics residency program. Congratulations, Rachel. The Special Faculty Award for Engineering and Service to Humanity recognizes a student or student team in any degree program for exemplary achievement related to the application in service to society. This year's prize goes to graduating PhD student Andrew Ali for his work to accelerate inclusive energy transition in developing economies through data and engineering science. Throughout his time at Thayer, he has contributed to research on wide-ranging topics, including food security, land use, cellulosic ethanol production, and rural electrification via mini-grids. Andrew is the recipient of a National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship and a fellow at the Rocky Mountain Institute supporting off-grid development efforts in Nigeria. Congratulations, Andrew. The Dartmouth Engineering Prize for Graduate Research Excellence is awarded to a PhD student who has demonstrated outstanding research excellence during their graduate study. This year's prize goes to two phenomenal graduating students, Tran Long Wang and Steffi Muhanji. Tran Long's research has focused on advancing the design and performance evaluation of next-generation high-energy, low-cost sodium batteries for a wide range of operating temperatures. As we face increasing demands in energy use and find sustainable methods to harness energy, storing energy becomes a critical issue. During his PhD, Tran Long worked to develop sodium sulfide cathode material, a desirable and high-capacity cathode candidate for sodium batteries because they can safely pair with materials such as carbon, silicon, or tin to create a complete and safer battery system. He also developed novel electrolyte and cathode materials for batteries operating at extreme low temperature environments, and has been published as first author in numerous journals. In addition to his research, Tran Long is also an exemplary student leader, serving as a teaching assistant and a mentor to many graduate students. Tran Long could not be here today, but we celebrate in his honor. Steffi Muhanji's research has focused on affordable, clean, and renewable energy solutions to combat climate change. Throughout the course of her PhD, Steffi investigated how alternative energy sources, such as wind and solar, can impact the electricity grid, and has translated her work into actionable designs for future smart grid devices, electricity markets, and our water supply systems. Steffi is the first author in numerous respected scientific journals, and as part of her work has also partnered with local communities and stakeholders to collect data and develop applicable models for sustainable energy solutions. In addition, Steffi is a phenomenal student leader who has served as president of Thayer's Graduate Student Council and proven herself to be a true champion of equity and inclusive excellence in our community, who no doubt will continue to emerge as a human-centered leader and engineer. Please join me in congratulating Steffi. The Dean Service Award recognizes a student who has made exceptional contributions to Thayer, Dartmouth, or the broader world through research or work in service to society. This year's prize goes to graduating PhD Innovation Fellow, Cameron Plank. As the event chair for Thayer Council, Cameron has led numerous activities, orientation trips, hikes up Moosilauke, steak and champagne, to bring our graduate community together. When Moosilauke Ravine Lodge closed for renovations, Cameron found an alternate location at Dartmouth's 66 Lodge, located in the backwoods off the Appalachian Trail. With no direct vehicle access, Cameron hiked into the woods with pizza in tow to feed fellow students. As an NSF Joint Science Education Project Fellow, he accompanied Dartmouth undergraduates to Greenland to conduct climate research and lead an education program for high school students from the US and Denmark. An engineer and entrepreneur, Cameron is the founder and CEO of Cryosphere Innovations, which develops technology to help scientists safely observe changes in our climate in some of the world's most inhospitable environments. Cameron's energy and can-do attitude has led to many bounding opportunities for our students, and his passion for developing the tools that scientists need to fight climate change is already impacting our world. Congratulations, Cameron. I'd like to next turn to our awards for staff and faculty. The Outstanding Staff Service Award honors a Thayer staff member for their tremendous and dedicated service. This year's award goes to engineering lab instructor Raina White for her exceptional commitment to students and faculty. As Dartmouth quickly shifted to remote learning in response to COVID-19, Raina was instrumental in conceiving and developing hands-on labs and projects that could be done at home, in addition to creating engaging, interactive, virtual learning activities for remote classes. Over the past year, Raina devoted additional time to students to ensure they not only understood the coursework, but to also serve as a source of unwavering support. Raina could not be here today, but I spoke with her yesterday to announce the award, so please join me in congratulating Raina in her absence. The Outstanding Service Award for Faculty honors a Thayer faculty member for tremendous service and dedication to our school, and whose activities have significantly enhanced the quality of our educational institution and community of scholars. This year's award goes to Professor of Engineering, Vicki May. We are acknowledging Vicki for her role in leading Thayer-wide efforts to build a more collaborative and collegial place to learn and work as part of Dartmouth's Campus Climate and Culture Initiative. As part of this undertaking, she has gone above and beyond to collaborate with students, staff, and faculty within Thayer and across Dartmouth to gather and present our community's climate and help lead important conversations to address the challenges that arose during the process. In addition, she is an exemplary teacher scholar who sparks curiosity and love of learning in all of her students. Please join me in congratulating Professor Vicki May. This is our inaugural year for the Thayer's Diversity and Inclusion Award, which recognizes members of our community for outstanding leadership, commitment, and efforts to raise awareness for and address issues of equity, diversity, and inclusion at Thayer. This year, the award goes to two individuals, PhD student Tasia Chatty and Director of Career Services, Amy Keeler. Tasia, along with other graduate students, was instrumental in organizing and leading our community in conversations discussions around race and inclusion last summer. Tasia is a longtime advocate for international students, for women in engineering, and for Black, Indigenous, Hispanic, and other underrepresented engineers of color. She co-founded Pride, promoting respect, inclusion, and diversity in engineering. Pride has hosted small group conversations to support underrepresented students, as well as organized Women of Thayer luncheons to highlight the work of women in engineering. Over the past year, Tasia also served as a member of Thayer's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, contributing efforts to increase mentoring opportunities and improve availability of resources for students. Amy Keeler is a committed student advocate and an exemplary leader in our mission to create a more equitable and inclusive Thayer. Amy has co-led numerous ongoing workshops for staff and faculty to help us learn, grow, and examine our own beliefs and actions to better support our students and one another. As Career Services Director, Amy and her team are committed to working with alumni and employers who share Thayer's vision for a more equitable and inclusive workplace to better serve not just our students, but the future of innovation. Congratulations to Tasia and Amy. The Thayer Distinguished Research Award honors a faculty member for extraordinary scholarly achievements that demonstrate notable discoveries or research accomplishments through publication, citation, issued patents, or another form of dissemination. This year's award goes to McLean Professor of Engineering, Brian Pogue. Brian works with his large team to focus on the design and development of novel imaging systems to guide treatment decisions using molecular signals from the human body. Just in the past year, his team has introduced an ultra-fast delivery of radiation that reduces cancer treatment time to just 6 milliseconds, protecting normal human tissues from excess radiation damage. Earlier this year, Dartmouth Hitchcock's North Canton Cancer Center became the first cancer center in the world to install Brian's groundbreaking technology to capture real-time images of radiation dose delivery to help doctors better target treatment and improve patient safety. In addition to his scholarship and translational work, Brian is a dedicated advisor and mentor to all of his students. Please join me in congratulating Professor Brian Pogue. Our greatest strength is our extraordinary faculty, whose commitment to students and love for teaching is unparalleled. Each year, we honor a member of the faculty who exemplifies Dartmouth's best teacher scholar. I'm honored to present the 2021 Woodhouse Excellence in Teaching Award to Professor Laura Ray. I want to let her students' comments speak for themselves. Professor Ray not only did an excellent job explaining the material, but you could tell she clearly put in a lot of work to preparing her lectures and videos. She made herself available both in and outside of class. She was very kind, very understanding, and always open for questions and support. Professor Ray wears many hats here, and I imagine that makes her very busy. But I don't think we always knew that, because she always puts our requests, questions, and needs on top of her plate. I appreciate her very much. Please join me in congratulating Professor Laura Ray. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce graduating PhD student, Boyu Meng, to deliver the student address. Boyu's research has focused on the development and translation of novel molecular imaging techniques to improve targeted cancer therapy and immunotherapy. During his time at Dartmouth, Boyu served as student director of the Cancer Scholars Program and as a mentor for first-year PhD students. Originally from Xi'an, China, Boyu earned his Bachelor of Arts in Physics and Biochemistry from DePauw University and his Master of Science in Medical Physics from Duke. Tomorrow, he will earn his doctorate in Engineering Sciences from Dartmouth. After graduation, Boyu will begin his medical physics residency at UT Southwestern Medical Center. Boyu is the very first PhD student to graduate from Professor Scott Davis's lab, and he looks forward to joining his faculty advisor, who also happened to earn his PhD from Thayer in 2008, as a fellow alum. Please welcome the soon-to-be Dr. Boyu Meng.
Thank you, Dean Abramson, for the kind introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm truly thrilled to be here today to speak to you in person. As a member of the graduating class, I think we're all wondering what the future holds for us. The most recent Future of Jobs report from the World Economic Forum paints a startling picture. Along with the pandemic-spurred economic recession, a wave of automation revolution is causing a double disruption for all workers. Nearly half of all employers expect to reduce their workforce through the integration of technology in the next 5 years. And by 2025, the number of jobs performed by humans and machines are expected to be about the same. As a young professional about to enter the workforce, figuring out where we fit, given the challenges ahead, seems especially daunting. Choosing a job is not as simple as taking a quiz from a booklet. The future will require engineering and technology leader who can navigate the changing landscape within ever-emerging technologies like automations, artificial intelligence, and robotics. But I believe we as Dartmouth engineers are ready for the challenge, and here's why. At Dartmouth, all of us have engaged in interdisciplinary coursework and cutting-edge translational research almost every day. Learning from hands-on practices has prepared us to utilize technology to push all kinds of boundaries. But the most important core of our engineering education is not about our mastery of the material, but our ability to embrace the journey of starting as a student and working towards becoming an expert in the field. After today, we might never work on the same problem set or research project that we spent countless hours on for our degrees. But it's our commitment to find human-centered solution and our practice of translating our curiosity for the unknown into innovative technology that we will carry with us many years after graduating. Like many of you, some of the most important lessons I've learned here are from outside the classroom. As an international student, I moved to the US from a different country. I struggled and had to learn quickly how to adapt to my new environment. Learning about the culture around me and connecting with others to discover common ground has helped me to find a new place to call home in Hanover, even though I was thousands of miles away from my family. For many of us, Thayer is not just our school. The fellow graduates sitting beside us and the faculty member sitting across the stage are not just classmates and teachers. They're family and the community who nurtured and supported each of us through our time here. For the years we studied here, we honored our ability to connect with others from across different backgrounds. Whether it's engaging in a conversation about cutting-edge technology with a Jones Seminar speaker over lunch in Jackson, or sharing and learning about student research projects ranging from ice thermodynamic study in the Arctic Ocean to medical imaging for deep space exploration. These opportunities cultivates important teamwork and collaboration, which have led to fruitful results, critical discussions, and exciting new questions. We live in a rapidly changing era, where a supercomputer runs trillions of operations per second, and intricate machine learning algorithms automatically learn and improve from the data. It is inevitable that automation will replace certain jobs. As scary as the forecast sounds, I believe that future of engineering and innovation will thrive with the integration of new technology to our advantage. Computerization can help streamline routine procedures, but the ability to conduct research that matters, work collaboratively with others, and discover innovative technology and human-centered solution is the real value that we, as Dartmouth engineer, will have on our ever-evolving world. Congratulations, class of 2021. We did it. Even a pandemic can't stop us from achieving our goals and chasing our dreams. Now let's get out there and change the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Boyu. That was great. Each year at Investiture, we honor a member of the greater scientific community for their distinguished achievement and service in the highest tradition of our school. In 1870, then Dartmouth president Asa Dodge Smith and our founder, Sylvanus Thayer, hired Robert Fletcher as the school's first dean and professor. At the time, Fletcher was serving as a 23-year-old Army lieutenant and an assistant professor of mathematics at the U.S. Military Academy. When he arrived at Thayer, he served as the school's only full-time professor, teaching 14 courses his first academic year and 36 courses his second. In the ensuing 65 years, Fletcher left a strong, lasting impression on generations of Thayer students. In addition to serving as Thayer's dean and professor of engineering, Fletcher designed and supervised construction of steel bridges across the Connecticut and White Rivers, and waterworks for the towns of Hanover and Enfield. During his tenure as dean, he advanced the importance of engineering education as a way to improve lives and better our communities. The individual selected to receive the Robert Fletcher Award must possess the qualities exemplified in the life and work of this remarkable individual. Today, we are honored to present the 2021 Robert Fletcher Award to former U.S. Secretary of Energy, Ernest Moniz. Ernest Moniz is a renowned nuclear physicist and the 13th U.S. Secretary of Energy. During his tenure under President Obama, he helped advance American leadership in clean energy technology, reduce threats from nuclear weapons proliferation, and expand our capacity for cutting-edge research. Prior to his appointment as Secretary of Energy, he served on the faculty at MIT as the Cecil and Ida Green Professor of Physics and Engineering Systems. He also served as the founding director for MIT's Energy Initiative and the director of MIT's Laboratory for Energy and the Environment. Throughout his career, he also served in various advisory and federal policy-making roles for numerous presidential administrations, including as the Undersecretary for Energy under President Clinton and as a member of President Obama's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology and the Defense Threat Reduction Advisory Committee. He is currently CEO of the Nuclear Threat Initiative and of the Energy Futures Initiative. We are honored to have him join us today. Please welcome Secretary Moniz, to whom I present our Robert Fletcher Medal.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all, and I'll come back to thanking you, Dean Abramson in particular, but I can't resist noting the presence of Provost Helbley with his comforting MIT colors, and noting that he talked about bridges. So again, I can't resist saying that a very proud Dartmouth graduate, Dan Riker, who used to head the energy efficiency and renewable programs at the Department of Energy, told me that the dean, who is renowned for her work in lowering, especially building energy efficiency, was building the fridge to the 21st century. Ouch. But anyway, thank you again, Dean Abramson, for the honor of the Robert Fletcher Award and for the introduction, and even more for your public service, both at the Department of Energy, where you helped advance the clean energy transition, and in the broader sense of public service as teacher and scholar at Dartmouth, continuously strengthening what is arguably America's most important competitive asset for the super competitive 21st century, its research universities. I also thank the president, the provost, the trustees, and the faculty of Dartmouth College for the honor of joining this distinguished academic community with an honorary Dartmouth degree. And I'm especially pleased to join this year's graduates of the Thayer School of Engineering who come here with their earned degrees. It's daunting to think that this year is my 50th anniversary of the last earned degree that I will get. I hope you treasure yours. Each year, sending off a cadre of incredibly well-educated young people to make their way in and to shape a rapidly evolving world and to make it a better place is the ultimate act of renewal for them and for our society. It certainly is what kept me tethered to an academic career, even as I wandered off from the campus 3 times to the hand-to-hand combat of the Washington political environment. I was reminded of the existential pleasures of academic life just 3 days ago, coincidentally, with an email out of the blue. A 1988 MIT physics PhD, one who I admittedly don't recall after 40 years, wrote to me for no obvious reason an email entitled An MIT Memory. He wrote that as a new physics graduate student at MIT in the late 1970s. He was a bit full of himself, but was doing very poorly in a group theory course that I was teaching. He noted in his email that upon asking some basic questions, I replied, and I won't deny it, quote, fill in his name, "This is difficult stuff, and you'll actually have to put in some hard work to understand this." It was a wake-up call to him, and he went on to an A in the course. And he added in his email, quotes, "Of all the courses I took at MIT, I think I enjoyed group theory the best for its sheer elegance. Thanks for your contribution to my education and work ethic." And those last 2 words, work ethic, is what really strikes me as so important. Then, of course, I went on the internet and I found him. And then I learned, best of all, in a certain sense, he's now retired in Mexico, and his internet words were enjoying life. So it's all worthwhile from his perspective, too, a well-off beach bum armed with group theory. This is the kind of ecosystem of hard work and enjoyment that I wish for all of you. But in addition to personal fulfillment, there's also responsibility for our collective good, for our sense of community. This falls on you and every other graduate of this distinguished institution. Sending each graduating class out from the campus to a society in need of those talents is our university responsibility. My friend Barb Armstrong, former vice president for science and technology at IBM, used to say that the best vehicle for technology transfer from academia to the private sector is the moving van, and that certainly applies to you as engineering graduates, mostly going into the private sector now or maybe in a few more years after postgraduate study. But the same idea, the moving van, applies beyond engineering and technology to your role in society at large. You have extraordinary capabilities for raising the level of discourse, and we need it. We've come through a period of heightened challenge to our expectations of fact-based, analysis-based, science-based debate. a seeming loss of understanding that data, analysis, and science must be guardrails for the political debate. We used to have public arbiters setting the terms of debate. Famously, it's been stated, "Where are you, Walter Cronkite, when we need you?" The responsibilities are now placed instead on the individual citizen, with access to every opinion and every version of the facts that one could imagine, delivered over media that are still remarkably young. Who's in the White House, he or she will not have the prerogative to reset the way in which political debate is carried out in our country and beyond. Today's and tomorrow's technology will set the boundary conditions. This has the potential to pose catastrophic risk to our governance model and our core values if we don't change direction. I have great expectations that these graduates here in front of us will assume the civic responsibility of helping restore fact to its place in political discourse while adapting to the modern media in ways that I know I cannot. You will bring the combination of values and capability that are the hope of a restored political dialogue that rededicates our society to lifting the underserved as part of its collective advancement. We also face more evident forms of societal catastrophic risk. Our convocation today comes as we hope to be emerging from the COVID global disaster. This was a gray swan event in the sense that it was completely predictable, even if the precise circumstances and timing were not. A risk in plain sight. Indeed, it was predicted by many. For example, the Obama administration established a National Security Council Office of Pandemic Preparedness, only to have it disbanded less than a year before COVID hit. The third coronavirus outbreak in 2 decades, and we weren't prepared. Remarkably poor risk management by the country's chief risk officer, the president. An organization that I'm part of, the Nuclear Threat Initiative, together with the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, issued the first Global Health Security Index evaluating country-by-country pandemic preparedness late in 2019, just before the emergence of COVID. It concluded that the interconnected world was very poorly prepared to manage a pandemic, and the United States fell short itself in a major way on access to public health systems. Tragically, this all played out over the last 16 months. But I will focus on a different lesson that emerged from our pandemic experience. First, we have discovered considerable personal agency to address these societal risks. Sorry, wrong page. Personal behavior, just as getting vaccinated and adapting to new ways of work, maintaining social distancing, have proved to be the effective path to collective response, despite some counterproductive behavior related to what we discussed earlier, fantasy-based discussions percolating chaotically throughout the discussion. Second, science and technology innovation did come to the fore in amazing ways. Specifically, the speed of getting to vaccines was unprecedented, with novel technologies such as messenger RNA leading the way for some of the most effective vaccines. This combination of technology advances and personal agency is a great story that must guide informed societal approaches to all manner of catastrophic risk management. It's simply not true that individuals must defer responsibility to government for managing systemic risk. Shared responsibility is what's effective. Now, one of the most urgent arenas for applying these lessons and engaging your talents is that of converting climate change risk to opportunity, while at the same time advancing social equity. We are paying the price for not sufficiently advancing social equity and addressing climate change for decades. And social equity in an interconnected world means not just in the United States, but also in the developing world. We urgently need to bring the combination of personal agency and innovation shown in the COVID response to bear on this challenge as well. Climate change is another of those gray swan situations, great risk in plain sight. It's more, however, of a slow motion train wreck in which we cannot anticipate with great precision what the societal consequences will be or when they will kick in, but the science is pretty clear about the nature and magnitude of the macro impacts, and that we already are experiencing material change, such as with a multitude of extreme weather events. As the February Texas big chill showed tragically, we're not good at understanding, for engineers, I can say, the fat tails of the climate risk distribution. Nor do we understand their differential impacts on the most economically vulnerable. Bad consequences will materialize increasingly unless we have a massive societal response. The necessary objectives have become clear on the road to the major climate meeting in Glasgow in November, a meeting that must, for the first time, show a global commitment to climate ambition. The industrialized countries need to reach net zero greenhouse gas emissions by mid-century, a pretty short time when measured against historical timeframes for dramatically turning over the energy system. The least developed countries need to evolve economically and socially to be part of the climate solution a bit further down the road as they meet their economic development needs in the face of demographic realities and massive urbanization. Without such development, women will not become central players in the developing economies sufficiently rapidly to drive environmental solutions. Now, technology is a critical part of the solution. We have massive technology innovation needs, a 21st century IT-enabled electricity grid, electricity storage of much longer duration than is afforded by batteries, supercharged energy efficiency, novel nuclear fission and fusion technologies, a hydrogen economy enabled by novel infrastructures, revolutionary low-carbon fuels, large-scale carbon dioxide management, including removal from the atmosphere and the upper layers of the ocean. We are seeing encouraging signs that our government is recognizing the importance of a decade of supercharged clean energy innovation and hope that this will be realized now. What an opportunity for engineers. But as important as technology innovation is, this is not just a technology challenge. It's one that calls for deep innovation across the board. Clean energy, technology innovation, yes. Business model innovation, policy and political innovation, human development innovation, and every discipline printed on every one of the earned degrees across the Dartmouth community is needed. But it's still true that engineers, with but not constrained by their disciplinary pedigrees, will play a special role. Engineers solve problems. The track record shows that engineers will address the full range of innovation challenges, such as technologically enabled, disruptive business models. Quite simply, we need you to face these challenges and capture these opportunities. And I have to say, I was encouraged in looking at the portfolio of awards that we just saw being handed to outstanding performance by many of you, that there was a strong component of addressing climate and addressing equity issues, and that is, again, what we need very, very desperately from you and your colleagues. So just as I am welcomed today into this outstanding academic community, it gives me great pleasure and hope to welcome many of you into the community, actively tending to the planet and to social justice by limiting and addressing climate change in a practical and inclusive way, and having a great time doing it. I know that Dean Abramson and the Thayer faculty are committed to this goal and see the hard-earned talents of today's graduates as their greatest contribution to our collective success in mitigating societal risks. So thank you again, and best wishes for your forthcoming contributions to a bright future for you and for the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Moniz, and perhaps you'll receive an email in the future from one of our graduates in the audience saying how your words today motivated them in a particular way. I'm now pleased to announce the conferral of hoods on our degree candidates. Graduates, please approach the platform using the ramp to my left. Once you've been hooded, please pause for a photo and exit the platform using the center ramp. We will not be shaking hands today. Please welcome Senior Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs, Ian Baker, who will read the names of our graduates.
For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Chido Munopar M. Pofu. Arkasi Danso Okorsa. Luke Amen. Meredith Lauren Anderson. Chloe Baker. Henry Baldwin. Miles Bock. Julia E. Bonzanini. Mason Brady. Isabel Hope Burgess. Philip Grant Butler. Kent Campbell. Evan James Christo. Megan Clark. Kenton Codispot. Peter Conway. Tianxing Dai. Margaret D.P. Walker. Pierre Devallon. Cara Loreto Dittmar. Christopher Drake. Gracie Durham. Lilia Ing. Jeffrey Sade Figueroa Quiros. William Colby Gardner. John Franklin Zollikofer Green. Bradley Carlyle Hart. Tyler Hatch. Trevor Hopkins. Jennifer Marissa Kane. Parveer Kaur. Rafi Korled. Luke Milan Carey. Grace Catherine Valois King. Shannon Kosman. Norman Kwong. Grant Larson. Alexander Justin Lee. Matthew Daniel Levine. Jack Lewis Lipson. Jason Liu. Christopher McNair Like. Sophia Maistu Oriana. Chirag Mulkani. Devon Matty. Mitchell Mead. James Monaco. Andrew David Moore. Grace Nicewander. Shay Nelson. Edmund Dwight Northrop IV. Keone Michael O'Calvey. Chikezie Prosper Ognugwa. Maximilian Albert Joshua, Oman Koryamar. Simon Ether Oyster. David Ochola Umar. Mit Patel. Camille Elizabeth Pawley. David Perez Gonzalez. Grace Maynard Player. Lurdane Ram. Rafael Rosors Soto. Jacob Rozak. Afia Semin. Amir Hossein Sharif Sadeh. Andrew Scow. Mitchell Maynard Steele II. Barbara Blair Stratman. Rebecca Thompson. Peter Unger. Nicholas Washington. Noah White. William Jasper White. Skylar Widman. Kayla Wormsbecker. Honyon Schoen. Ye Jiang. For the degree of Master of Engineering Management, Cole Jace Andrus. Oni Oluwa Odisi Shoyon. Kenan Akin. Olufi Seyo Baba Lola. Justin Bauer. Augustin Cabrera. Francisco Cabrera. Rashid Dua. Uche Solomon, A.K. Orpara. Aditya Hari Gopal. Benjamin Hawksey. Vivian Hu. Talha Kopadaya. Shweta Karun. Anirudh Menon. C. Luke Metcalf. Kirthana Murungan Andham. Rishub Sanjay Oswald. Hadrick Paduya. Jailam Pundit. Sekishore Raju. Tanvi Teddy-Mati. For the degree of Master of Engineering. Jayanth Bachu. For the degree of Master of Science, Dhanushri Waidya. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Andrew Michael Alley. Sarwid Husib Arshud. Alison Birkland. Tai Chu. Rachel Hakadorian. Read harder. Thomas Jordan. Austin Patrick Lyons. Benjamin Maloney. Boyu Meng. Tension Miao. Steffi Alessi Muhanji. Cameron Plank. Fung Veep Vincent. Guang Chao Wan.
Congratulations, graduates. So while I have everyone's attention, I want to make a few quick, important announcements. At the close of the ceremony, graduates, faculty, and guests will immediately recess to the stands at the far end of the field for official class photos. The photos will be free and available for download in the coming weeks. And more information will be available on Thayer's Investiture page. For Guest Park and Dewey Lot, please note that shuttle service will be available until 3:30. For graduates and faculty taking part in commencement tomorrow, faculty, please meet at Leveron Fieldhouse. BEs, MEs, MEng, MS, and PhD students meet in front of Wentworth Hall, but no later than 9:30 a.m. Students earning both the AB and BE degrees should report to Leveron no later than 9:45 a.m. I'm told the doors will be locked shortly thereafter. I would like to close the ceremony with a few words of reflection. Almost a year ago today, I stood in front of a camera delivering a virtual investiture address inside a nearly empty Great Hall. At the time, our buildings, usually alive with students collaborating, studying, talking, or laughing, or truth be told, sometimes napping, stood eerily quiet. Meanwhile, the world outside was engulfed in a health crisis, ongoing racial unrest, and a race to outpace a rapidly spreading pandemic. In our labs, our own faculty and students, many of you sitting here today, were in a race of your own, developing better antiviral therapies, creating faster COVID-19 diagnostic tools, designing and manufacturing masks and ventilator parts, and creating new technology to help us stay connected even while apart. If there is anything these past 16 months have taught us, it is about the incredible power, importance, and impact of science and engineering. And you, our students, proved you were ready and willing to serve as human-centered engineers, scientists, and technology leaders this world needs right now. Family and friends, please take a good look across the field at each of our graduates. Graduates, look left, look right, look ahead, and look behind you. Each of you, even before you earned your degrees, have already made an impact. Throughout your time here, and even during one of the most complex and challenging periods of our lives, you launched a new startup that develops technology to diagnose diseases faster using nanoscale sensors to detect biomarkers. You designed an award-winning concept for lunar explorers that can investigate the dark side of the moon. You developed a comprehensive education system that makes access to educational content possible for schools in rural Nepal with no internet or stable electricity. You developed Arctic buoys, deployed by a multinational team of scientists to study the rapid pace of climate change. You conducted the most comprehensive study of the drivers of global food insecurity to inform international development efforts. You created important analytics and visualization tools to enhance and promote sustainable design and product development. You modeled how rural communities in New England could improve grid reliability, save water, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions through more flexible water control. You developed fundamentally new approaches to how we deliver and monitor treatment for cancer, and the list goes on. While we are in a better place than we were a year ago, the pandemic is far from over. As we celebrate today, parts of the world, India, Brazil, are still grappling with unimaginable loss. The world we live in is still very much divided. We're often separated by language and culture and race and religion and socioeconomic class and political beliefs. And we live with oceans and deserts and walls and physical barriers between us. But at Dartmouth, all of you learned and discovered without boundaries. You collaborated across disciplines. You sought out teammates who brought diverse perspectives and assorted lived experiences. You are well-versed in engineering and sciences, but you also have an ingrained appreciation and understanding of the human condition through your foundation in the liberal arts. In the process of finding a solution, you account for human need, community impact, and the potential unintended consequences. Because as Dartmouth engineers, we know that engineering and science are not just tools for problem solving, but they are a means to improve lives and better our world. We know that to solve the most pressing challenges of our time in this increasingly diverse and interconnected world, we must start by considering the people, the humans, the planet first. And this is why, even after a long and difficult year, I know that tomorrow, with you in it, the world is about to get a lot brighter. Thank you, and congratulations to all of you.
Pick up to measure 5.
Where are we? Oh.
Hardest note in the piece.